Hello. Welcome to the late night talks with romantic developer. Today we have our series number 135, and let's begin. Its stream series started as a challenge. Give me a second. So yes, this series started as a challenge to have 152 consecutive days stream. It come from my wife's stream. She made like 152, and in one talk I said that it's not too hard, and she said, okay, do you try? And I tried, and I could confirm that it's really hard. But I'm close. I'm less than 3 weeks close to completing that 152 consecutive day stream challenge, and let me know what you think about continuing that thing. Should I do or should I not to do? I'm thinking that probably I could continue because after all, people are okay. Let's say that I'm not super organized person. Of course, I'm doing stuff. I'm doing my work. I'm doing some chores, but I'm not have super. I don't have the level of organization I want. I don't have the level of organization I want in my work, at my home, at my even environment on my desk, behind the desk as well, and in my room. I don't have good organizational skills to do everything I planned outside the house, in garage, and all my projects. Sometimes I even could record some ideas, but most of them I never started. And even for this stream challenge, for those streams series, I planned some stuff and think what I could do, and not everything was implemented, let's say that. So I choose some, let's say, simple path, and I've started to talk about some thoughts which come to my mind, something I think about, thought about during the day, some answers to your questions, or some just my impressions, reflections of the day, and then we look into some task, and it's basically spread. The task is spreading on tools which is required to complete something around the stream itself. We built in AI powered tool which could download my streams, transcribe them, generate some title, description, time marks of some video sections, time markers, yes, and keywords and so on, and update back in YouTube. We have some ideas to create simplify shorts creation from my videos, basically to build a tool which will use AI scripts to prompts to generate short ideas, and then use some tools to build Adobe Premiere Pro projects and insert all what we built into those projects. That is in progress. As well, we built 2 versions of my toolkit. It's batch, where you just need some tools and it executes those tools and put some parameters. And it's Python script, which much more complex, but provide you much more abilities. And basically Python script actually supports updating it to back, and it allows us to preserve more details and more complex logic of preserving responses and so on. So yeah, that's it. About reflections. Right before the stream, I decided to drink a tea. I moved the stream beginning time slightly, just to have some cozy time and drink tea, eat some piece of chocolate, and read the news. And all the news about war, and war. I know that some other people could see different news, especially if they are interested in topics maybe like movies or technology, etc., etc. I'm just looking at the news which will define the shape of our future. And I'm from Ukraine originally, and of course I'm looking how evolves that war between Russia, Ukraine, and actually not only Russia, Ukraine, multiple countries in the world, with multiple countries in the world. And yeah, today is November now 27. Yeah, just 19 minutes into 27 in Pacific time zone. And what I see is that I see the same, that Ukrainians strike American rockets into Russia territory. I mean, not into territories which Russia took over from Ukraine, like Crimea and some regions in Ukrainian East, but to historical Russia territory. Russia Ministry of Defense, I'm sorry, shows the photos of those rockets and say, okay, we will reply back. Mr. Biden silently hiddenly ask Congress to approve another $24 billion of aid to Ukraine. Of course, most of this part will go to producing weapons for Ukraine and for fulfill Pentagon resources. Sorry, lack of dictionary in all of these topics. So yeah, it's what I see, and it looks like that the humanity working on the brick of next big war. Even today, there are some good news that Israel and Lebanon agreed to stop for ceasefire, and it doesn't mean Israel stop war with Palestine, of course, with this gay sector, but it means that at least in one place on the earth it would be less death. But still there are a lot of deaths on the other territories, and it's mostly continental Europe. Yeah, not so yeah, countries which are side by side to Europe, and yeah, it's awful. And instead of talking peace, people talking war, and they just try to see how far they can go, and not many people understand that they go already too far. And it's in those wars, it's always so thin path to go back to negotiation. It's so wide road to the next escalation. And if you read or see any news about Ukraine Russia conflicts, you probably saw that it's a path of escalation rather than path of at least some tries of negotiation, mostly in 3 last years. So after 50 days, there was negotiation which mostly succeeded, and it was win-win, not win for Ukraine, lose for Russia. So Russia gives back everything to Ukraine except Crimea, but Crimea, they agreed to politically discuss its state, and then it was a decision to continue war against Russia because Russia, used not so many army resources to strike Ukraine, and there was a decision that maybe it will be possible to win Russia, which is, of course, crazy decision. And yeah, we see what happening now. 3 years later, so many deaths, so many destroying of economy, of families, of people lives, which is what. So, and of course, I'm thinking that, yeah, instead of making peace and work together on some cool technologies, on artificial intelligence, of going beyond Earth to stars, to other planets in our solar system. Everything I read in science fiction books when I was a kid, and it was quite a lot years ago. So I think, okay, maybe in my time I would be discoverer in solar system. And it was, I believe it was so close because in 67, yeah, United States get their foots on moon. Soviet Union has also pretty amazing space program, and yeah, they have a lot of cool things. My mother worked on the fabric in Kiev, which developed some part for space industry in Soviet Union, and they created some own version of shuttle. It was called Buran, and they even had a test fly for it. And it was like in 89, if I'm not mistaken, it was like, hello Elon Musk, because that Buran did fly to the space. It's fly in autonomous mode, and then it returned back to the Earth, and it's just yeah, did a self landing on some airport without human interaction, and maybe with some human activities. I'm not sure. I don't remember all the details. Yeah, it was a long time ago, 35 years ago. Yes, and 35 years ago, Soviet Union has technology to send something into space which could return back. Of course, rocket's part didn't return, but like shuttle could return back on its own. And it's a very hard process. You could see for American Space Shuttle program some videos on Discovery Channel, and you will understand that returning space shuttle to the Earth is a very tricky task because it couldn't fly a lot. It should just land in proper place, and it has maybe like one chance to land properly. That's it. So it couldn't like change airport like other aircraft could do. So why I'm telling all of this? Because I dreamed that it would be some cool technologies, coolest of the technologies, like how computers will evolve, how artificial intelligence will evolve. Okay, so-called artificial intelligence will evolve. I couldn't imagine, but I just I think that we will be much more closer to ships like in Space Wars or others in my time, rather than we'll start again multiple wars on the Earth. Yeah, and it's what we see. It's what we see. The people choose. Again, I'm not telling all the people, but if most of the people will choose peace, it would be not so easy for others, like our leaders, visible or invisible, to move us into wars toward each other. It would be much more complex, because if you try to, I don't believe any sociology, But of course, it was quite visible that when war started, most people in Ukraine, especially after first initial success of Ukraine, many people in Ukraine believed that they should continue the war. Crazy. And the same way people think in Russia, thought in Russia. Of course, less percentage because Russia wasn't in such good positions after initial failure in Ukrainian Russia war, but it's still, yes, there are multiple people who think that, okay, Russia should continue the war, and yeah. And the worst thing that many people in the world think that they need to continue the war, and it's what we talked before about selections, about choosing if you choose peace or war. And many people, even they live in cozy, happy place, and they have work, they have family, etc. They could allow themselves to think that they choose some winner or loser. They bet for someone to win, and basically choosing a war, not peace. Okay, it should be changed. It should be changed. And today is my news session, my cozy tea session, and some news just prove that it should change. And all the people in leadership, in government, everywhere which supports war should leave their positions. They not worthy to take leadership positions. True leaders should choose peace. They should choose people's lives. Okay. That was kind of my reflections, my thoughts on the recent news section. Okay. Let's see today's beautiful picture of the ocean. And let's try to connect to remote desktop. I have the latest code on my smaller laptop, which I took with me to my work. Or it's small. It can work even on the battery for multiple hours. So you just need some internet access, and that it could work, and it could stream, and it do it without issues, because my work computer couldn't do the stream good, maybe because of multiple software installed on it. And my home laptop is pretty heavy. It requires big power source. I mean, it's connector, it's heavy as well, so it's not so mobile. Okay, so we started our session. What is new? Okay, don't say. So what we have our code, which we need to find. Let's open command prompt, and it would be disk D, it would be projects, and it will be YouTube AI helper. It's, by the way, on the GitHub. If anyone want to look at it, you just could find it by YouTube AI helper. And let's see if it's the same thing we are working on. Let's open Visual Studio Code here in that folder by writing code dot. And we open in Visual Studio Code. Nice. So yesterday we transform our AI helper, which has about 1,000 of lines. We transform into multiple smaller files, like mostly they about 100, slightly more than 100 lines, sometimes even smaller, sometimes slightly bigger, like this one, about 200 lines. And yeah, it's also pretty big. It's about 300 to 50. So utilities should be pretty small, about, okay, 130. And it should be even smaller, about, oh no, we do a lot of code here. Okay, 160. So we created multiple files which logically divide that one file into multiple, so we could easily support it. We did that refactoring, but we did that refactoring using ChatGPTs. ChatGPT did not only refactor the code, but also change it and added something. So we decided to go with version of ChatGPT, with version it's produced, and do some fixes to make it work. The last thing which we noticed, it was that when we received the file, so we because we using our contents, we use our SRTM library to build it. Before we used just a string combine. Now we use SRT library, which is created for managing subtitles. It's show us multiple warnings, because in some cases we have our files having for the same time and date, we have, like, for example, the same word, like multiple words on the same interval. It's how Whisper return us results. Maybe it's not good enough, but it's what we have, and we looked into if we could save them better or not. So, and basically, so here we decided to do some changes to see if we can do that. Let's see. So process whisper response, and here we have response segments and response words. So we decided to include some of the code which, okay, not here, I'm sorry, here, it's our main workspace. So we asked ChatGPT how we could work around that issue, and it says if start and end time are the same, we just could add end with some minimum duration. And it was like here minimum duration is something like 10 milliseconds, which is really small amount of time. It's just 1/100th of the second. And if it's the case, when we add segments of words, we just should add something like that. Let's add it and see if it helps, or we have the same issues again. I believe it's mostly was with words. Error processing whisper response E. Okay. Okay. Okay, and we have our program here. We can just go. I could execute it in Visual Studio Code, but I prefer execute it in our command line prompt because it would be much more visible. And we now need to use py and transcribe, and we use folder. And we use not big file. It would be Z1 exploring Mercer Island. Let's remove all previous results. Okay, and let's copy pass, insert it, and try to execute and see it. No model.env. It's happening because we, in my current environment, use virtual environment for Python. It's called venv, virtual environment, where we install all the required libraries which need to be installed, not globally. So it's created using our code, Visual Studio Code. But to activate it, we just can call it activate and execute our program once again. This time it should have all the libraries installed. So we find everything we need, and we trying to send the main chunk, the one file, to the transcription library, and we preserved all the results without any issues. If we will look at them, it's simplified version for ChatGPTs, it's full version of Transcript. And I like it much better now because it doesn't have missing spaces. Before we have like here, but it's possible sometimes. But previously it was like normal thing. But I don't think it's with stocking or other ideas for name, etc. And I have pause for so many minutes here. So what we could do, just slightly improve that thing. We can go to transcriber, and in place where we processing all the files here, okay, in that place we will append that segment text, but we need to maybe we need to do something like that. No, does it work? No, I don't know Python. I just want to let's ask ChatGPT, will it work without issues? Okay. Okay, they said I should use this one. And content. Maybe I don't need this one. And here would be Word. Okay. And the place where we save in all the files. So it would be in the same method in transcriber, and we have method which save transcripts, output dir transcripts. Really? So we're doing some work which we're not using, looks like. So here, process whisper response, we return segments and words as arrays of subtitles. And then where we use it? Okay, result. Return result, and it's transcribe chunk. So here, transcript segments, transcript words, and transcribe chunk. Maybe we could slightly extend the thing. Transcribe chunk. So we have a response and result. Let's just add result response equal response return result. Equals result, not equals response. So we want to return also response as is. Oh, need to use here chunk results, transcripts row response, extend chunk result response, transcripts. Oh, transcripts. And row responses would be as well an array type, object type. And then we say save transcripts. Let's just copy. Why we couldn't copy all of those? Factor. Okay, 262 lines. If I use... Oh, my keyboard doesn't work. Okay, I understand what's going on. I pressed some key on the keyboard, which switched off my keyboard from that computer. Okay, let's try our ChatGPT here. Okay, I also want to preserve raw response as JSON files in the same folder. Can you please update the code? So we just paste our code of current transcriber class, and we ask to in save transcripts why it says it's modified code. So it was my code, save transcripts, transcribe chunks, response, save transcripts. Okay, directory exists, segments, it's fine. Join. The join with strip could actually work not so cool. Word level transcripts, generate LLM friendly SRT, and here for row we just use that thing. Let's see if we can go and update save transcripts after here. So transcripts raw responses, pass raw responses JSON, JSON dump raw responses. Okay, it would be an array of JSONs. Should be still good to save. And we just need add import JSON at the beginning to make it work. Okay, let's try to execute our code once again. And once we have row, and once we have also row information, we could check how our transcripts is working without debugging and step into the code. So we could compare the model response with skip subtitle at index, no content. Looks like we have multiple empty words. Actually, all the empty words. Sending chunk, request, then we skipped subtitle, also subtitles, and saved transcript files. Let's see the files which we have. So transcript SRT, basically let's close it. Let's open it again. Okay. Do we have something like reload? Okay, transcript still looks good. there are no words at all, and SRT is here. Let's see row JSON. So it was text, the full text, task, transcribe, language, image, duration, and segments. In segments we had, so interesting, why we have so many items here, like 1, 2, we just should, okay, it's text, it's task, okay, makes sense. So basically we preserved only one array. Okay, and segments, we have like multiple segments, 1, 2, 3, and segments is start from space and end basically without space. Not good. Okay, let's see what we have not in segments but in words. I'm trying to understand if you can hear me. I couldn't say that it's all the words should be preserved nice. Let's see once again how we do our words. So we have transcribe chunk, and then we process whisper response. Enumerate response words. Oh, it's not segment, it's word. Get word. Yeah, makes sense, and strip. Okay, let's remove all the previous results here. And we have all our changes. Let's execute it once again, just to confirm that this step we work around nice. Sending to whisper and waiting the whisper results to come back, and we will preserve it. By the way, now once my stream ends, I just go 54 and 55. Let's see. Transcript 20. Okay. So 6, 7, 6, 20. Okay, maybe it's good. 23. Okay. 51. 2 minutes. Okay. Looks good. Transcript txt. Okay, here we don't have a space, so but we add all the new words with returns. Maybe we should add space before we add a return, so if ChatGPT processes that, it wouldn't have any issues. For SRT and for word level, I think we are fine. And what we have about 54, let's say 53, 54. Okay, it just skipped 53, 54. But let's see row response. And we have a word. Let's see what is word for 53. And we just make sure 54, index 54. So let's stream. Okay, let's search stream because. Let's search for word stream, and let's search the stream after which we have because. Okay, here. The way how to start the stream because my channel is small and to start any. Let's use different thing. Let's use word equals no results. Maybe it wasn't about words but about segments. So in segments we have like text. 53, 54. No speech probability. Small, especially here, but it's return empty result. Start and actually it's mostly the same. Let's see, just curious if it's reflected here. 53, 750. Oh. So it was about start. 488. Let's divide to 60. Oh, let's divide to 60. It would be 8 minus 8 multiply on 60. It would be 8 minutes, 8 seconds, something like that. So 8 minutes, 8 seconds. Checking in. Okay. Okay. Looks like everything is good now. Yeah, I don't see any immediate issues, and we have our response preserved just for a case we need some debugging afterwards. So that one looks legit. The only thing we need to do is go here and maybe strip and end just empty word at the end. So, or maybe not here, where we combine everything, it would be preserve, save transcripts. We receive our text content as join. So we will do not like this, but like this. Okay, that should work fine. Okay, let's do final. Maybe we could even join with like this. And let's remove. And let's do final run. And we will continue with process prompts. And if process prompts will work, we will be very close for our refactored code to work properly, mostly for full process. And we need to think how to make, oh, this time it doesn't return any bad segments. So let's see, transcript txt. And yeah, right now it's just text. But maybe it's a good text, you know, otherwise. Okay, looks good, looks good. So now let's try to process prompts. Okay, so it's our task, would be not main, not transcribe, but process prompts. No prompts files found in folder prompts. Nice, nice. Let's go step by step. So process prompts are folders. Folders, okay. Processing prompts in folder. Load transcription files. Okay. Oh, just need to press. Prompts, get prompts files. Prompts folder, self prompts folder, and prompts folder, config get prompts folder, prompts. We need go to config, and right now our prompts folder would be output config folder, configuration generic, and prompts load config from folder. Okay, so what we will do, prompts folder. Let's ask ChatGPT just to add to config. Can you add prompts folder value to config as the sorry, and we want to add that as folder, which is interesting. Do we have the default config folder? Config folder. Okay, let's ask it as config folder plus prompts by default. Here is the latest config by. So let's ask that simple thing and see if it will do good or not. Here updated config by file with prompts folder key added to config. So let's see. Prompts folder os pass join default config folder prompts. I like that. It's what it how it should do for a really default way. Now we should return here prompts folder before log level, and before log level. Okay, and now resolve pass. No changes in load config from the file. It would be like this. At least by default, correct? If we have prompts folder in config, in LLM config, prompts folder, it would be resolved later. Okay, looks good. Let's try to execute our code once again. It's now should find prompts folder. And the same issue as before. Yeah, we need to change the way we use SDK, because while yeah, refactoring, ChatGPT decided to replace our execution of SDK to what it knows the best, the previous version. So generate response and AI helper. Do we have generate and save response? Okay, we have client. So we generate client, and then in response not really. So it did bad. It did bad. Why? Because it doesn't take into account the all the work we did around supporting structured output, because it doesn't know about structured output, correct? Okay, so what we could do, we could copy the prompt processor and go to my ChatGPT or use search. Hey, can you update the code you helped me with? This is current version. I need to add proper support of streaming output, like here, like in my previous implementation. Okay, some issues. Let's copy my previous implementation from AI helper, generate, save response. So let's copy that, and let's copy okay. Make sure you will support the same logic of naming the file. So search. It means it should search about structured output and provide us better response than before. Let's see if it will work. You see, even using ChatGPT for code refactoring, and we use ChatGPT for OR, which is premium, not free model. It still failed to do proper code translation, and we need to spend some time. Some of refactoring details looks reasonable, others not. So it's what we do. Once we complete that refactoring and fix small issues, we will update a readme file with all the instructions of how to use it, and yeah, and commit the changes. So we use processing prompts, and then substitute variables in files. What's this? Content chunk, get choices, get delta, get content. F, write content. Which reserved responses as prompt number txt, and if we have schema for the prompt, we preserve it as prompt number JSON. Can you update it as well? So it's all the same code. Load processing prompt, for prompt file in prompt files, process single prompt, load transcription files. Okay, get prompt files, process single prompt, split if srt. Okay, schema file, check for presence of corresponding JSON schema file. Okay, if path exists, we have this, or we have this. Okay, so generate and save response. Please remove streaming support. I mean structured output support. And please return substitution support as well. So ChatGPT playing games with us. It's always generate response that we don't actually need. But okay, let's try to generate once again, and maybe we need to work with our hands slightly. Let's try to regenerate. Looks like if it's failed, maybe it would be failing again. We already seen that. Okay, so substitute variables. Let's just remove substitute variables from the list, and for everything else, let's just insert it. And let's go back in time when we have substitute variables in files with initial functionality like before. Oh, whoa. Let's come here. That simply remove. And that we simply don't need. And here we just replace it with Copy, paste. So we processing and then we just substitute variables in files. For substitute variables in files, load file content. It's in utilities. Okay. Updated false variable, find all, replacement. If replacement, content replace, updated, if updated, save. Okay, that thing is simple. Let's quickly look at process prompts on transcript. Okay, load looks simple. Get prompt files looks simple. Processing whole prompt. So here we just need to compare with what we had before. Load file content and with SRT. Load file content, transcription content. Schema. If exists response format, else response format none. Generate and save response. That thing we need to remove because we need a substitute. Return generated file. Interesting here. Load file content. It's not exactly what we need. Why? Because here when we say load variable content, we also looking at that in the folder. So let's go and update into utilities, not only load file content. Oh, I thought I copied everything, not. Okay, and here we need import array. It's here. Prompt processor, we need load variable content. And here we need load variable content. OS pass. And we just don't need join any folder, we just need to return this folder. Okay, looks good. Or not. And let's see about assistant AI helper. So process prompts on transcription, and we process in prompt. Config max tokens, config temperature. Not transcriber, prompt processing, and instead of temperature, okay, instead of top N, top P, I'm sorry, still would be something like that. N equals 1, probably we don't need it. Self config model, self config default model, okay. Okay, generate and save response. And what if response format none? Okay. Now I put format, JSON, save, bam. And assistant response content. Assistant content. Preserve, else, fwrite present. And let's see process prompts once again. We do generate a file append. And let's search for let's go to the end, and we have process prompts. And what we are doing here, we do result task get result append. Okay. Okay, looks good. So let's try once again if it will work or not. No. Really? 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 Okay. No. Response. And we go to prompt processor. Create client. And client self client. And we just go here, and here Just say define that self client. What else? Let's see. So max tokens, we got string, and we have prompt files. Let's see how we do that here. Max tokens config max tokens. Maybe we just need int. Okay, now let's go to config, and we don't have any max tokens here, but we have max tokens here. Max tokens. Let's use, I should use something like 16,000 probably. Let's use our generic configuration. Yeah, GPT for all. GPT for all. Max tokens int max token return int if value if key, you know what, let's just in prompt processor we have config max tokens. We just need to put int get max tokens, otherwise it would be 4,000, something like that, correct? And another retry. So we received for title, for description, for beta chapters. And we are waiting for keywords. For keywords. In 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Too many requests. Why too many? Will we wait or restart it? Let's see the results. So far, it would be in videos and it would be in exploring Mercer Island. I'm sorry. So we have title prompt, unlocking YouTube success, how I built a tool to boost small channel growth. Okay. And we use description. Join me on spontaneous journey through the picture square Mercer Island by I. Let's drive. Beta chapters. Good. I still don't see keywords. Does it mean we lost keywords because of that processing and multi-threading? How to break it? You know, I have no idea how to break it, but yeah. Keywords is not here and we couldn't restart it. Interesting. I see, I see. I'm just trying to understand how to break. Oh. Interesting. My computer just locked. Okay, let's start another command prompt and let's close this one. Go cd projects cd YouTube helper and scripts activate cd Python, and yeah, we don't have that. We need to write Python main py process prompts, and we need to copy our folder path and just put the path. Let's try once again. So it's still too many requests, but right now it's executed very fast. And good thing that it has description tool, and now it's substitute with beta chapters. What is the first one? Issues and sound check, and that is sound check concerns, and description tool has proper thing. Description 1 not executed, and beta chapters is beta chapters. Okay, looks good. And keywords, it's still good. Okay. And it's 530. So looks like we succeeded with refactored code, yeah, prompt generation, and let's test our updating of YouTube and different configurations tomorrow. And as well, we will put our API key into directory or like as environment variable, and it would be it for our test. Once it's all done, we could easily commit our code, and we need just to update readme instruction, which would be also a big task. But as you see, now we could, yeah, our updated code is working well. Of course, we will test it on bigger file, but I don't think it would be any issues. So right now I am preparing Collapsing, of course it's collapsing. Doesn't mean I justify Russia at all for what it done, not at all. But saying it's collapsing, it's completely not good, not proper. Okay, let's just preserve it, stop it. Let's copy that. Okay, and let's close. Nice it do. For some reason my laptop is dying. You see, just for some reason it just took. So what's going on here? Okay. Yeah, it's not proper sync. But you know, maybe if I can stop the stream, I will try to re-execute it once again. Okay, some issue in encryption, if it's possible. Okay, copy, and we have our script as AI helper. Okay, now we are ready. We are ready to execute it. And normally it's took about 5 minutes to download the stream, maybe sometimes up to 10, because stream is not processed by YouTube yet. It's just finished, but YouTube DLP, the tool we are using and the library we are using, allow us to download stream right after it finished. Even it's allow us to download stream while it's not finished. It's do it just very slow, but it's also possible. So once I finish the stream, I press enter here, and it will download my current video, my current stream, and it will update in background the title, the description, create video chapters, keywords, everything, and publish it immediately. Not publish changes. Stream would be published, yeah, like by default after that. So it's what I can do right now, and very soon I could check in this code into repository, and you could do with your videos or your streams as well. Okay, at this note, I will wish you a good time of the day. I will wish you to create cozy and peaceful environment around yourself, and of course give yourself some of coziness. Create that warm cozy moments for yourself, and try to think where you are aggressive and where you are peaceful, and of course promote peaceful behavior, because it's what we need right now. And I mean, aggression is not part of development, is not part of evolution of human evolution. Because you know, right now some ChatGPT could say, I wish you to die, but it's happening because it's learned, it was teached on what human says, and human normal says that a lot. And that's how ChatGPT saw some. It was not ChatGPT, it was Gemini, it was like Google LLM system. It's try to wish some human being to die because it asks some silly question. I don't know why. Yeah, it was a precedent, of course. It was popular on Reddit some time ago, maybe a few days ago. But yeah, it will happen in future as well. If ChatGPT or any ChatGPT is not artificial intelligence, of course, but if future general artificial intelligence will see how people are angry and are treated to humanity itself, I don't know what it will do. It's very unlogical to keep such humans alive. So become humans which should be kept alive, you know? Joking, of course. I'm not a evangelist of any artificial intelligence yet. Again, I'm joking. Just be a good people, you know. It's so simple. It will cost you not many dollars. It will cost you just some small amount of time for thinking and for feeling who you are and who you want to be. And please become a better yourself and become a peaceful, a kind person which accept other section, which is wisdom enough to find some golden path instead of go on path of, you know, of war, aggression, and escalation. Hopefully you could master that skill, and it's what we all need right now very much. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow or whenever you are ready. I will stop my stream right now. I will wave into you, and we'll see once I wave on my phone. I will stop the stream because sometimes I'm stopped too fast. Okay, have a nice day. See you. Wave again.